Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from createyourself.today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. On today's episode, we are taking a case study and giving you a solution. I believe it's the set of questions that we are going to answer today. This set of questions is very important, and it concerns a lot of you guys, probably all of us, because our food industry is designed that way that it causes these problems for a lot of people. A huge percentage of people having problems with their blood sugar, with their insulin levels, and as a result with their overall health, their energy levels, their weight, the fat that people accumulate around their internal organs that cut years of our healthy life. So I get this email. It's from a girl. She's in her 20s, works in tech industry, and she needs all the energy she can get. And she'd like to feel her best. And she also would like to look her best. But she has a problem. Her blood sugar goes up and down, and she feels like fainting or just really weak. And she feels like she needs to eat carbohydrates, especially processed carbohydrates, to fix this problem as soon as possible. And cravings for processed carbohydrates, they are very intense when you have problems with your insulin and your blood sugar. And so she asked me to help her to navigate this conundrum, this puzzle. And she sent me a set of questions that, again, we're answering today. And I believe answering these questions will help a lot of you guys to manage your blood sugar and your insulin better. And why is that important? Why do you want to maintain healthy blood sugar and healthy insulin levels? And they kind of work together. You know, insulin is a hormone that is released mostly to it has a lot of function, actually, like a lot of things in our body, but its most important function is to maintain stable blood sugar, preventing it from going too high or too low. Both of them, when done fast, and even not so fast, but usually it happens really fast for anyone, when your blood sugar goes too low or too high, you can literally die. Especially, if you're not in ketosis and your brain is not really burning your fat for fuel. But even our brain has a requirement for glucose, even though it doesn't have to come from food, but it's another story. What you want to understand is, if your blood sugar is not stable, you can literally die. It is really dangerous, and it is really important for your body to be able to maintain stable blood sugar. And your body does this job pretty well. The reason why you might faint or might feel really weak, like fainting when your blood sugar goes too down, is because your body, your brain will make you faint and lie down to stabilize your blood sugar better. So it's a mechanism to prevent you from dying. So it's actually a good thing that you feel weak. And the answer is not to fight feeling weak, but to help your body to balance your blood sugar better. One of the questions she asked me was, what are the ways that blood sugar affects weight gain? Insulin also is a major hormone to bring blood glucose into your cells and to put blood glucose into storage into fat storage, specifically when your cells have enough of that blood sugar, blood glucose. And we don't actually need a lot of blood sugar. In your blood circulating around your whole body, there is just somewhere around 1 teaspoon of glucose. So it's not a lot at all. And you can imagine what eating or drinking, even worse, a whole can of regular soda does to your blood sugar. You have only teaspoon in your blood, and when you drink a few teaspoons of that, imagine your body has to do something with that. And what it does, two things actually. It gives energy to your cells. And then when your tanks are full and your body has very limited capacity to store glucose, somewhere around 1,600 calories overall, I believe. It depends on your muscle mass a lot. And most of it, not most of it, some of it actually also in your liver. So anyhow, once your body reaches its capacity to put fuel in as energy, to give fuel as energy to your cells, all the rest goes into your fat. So if you're constantly eating a lot of processed carbohydrates and your insulin is constantly high, putting all this glucose first into cells, into your muscles, into your liver, and then it puts it all into fat. So why people and why this girl has lower blood sugar most probably is because of all of those processed carbohydrates that she eats to manage her blood sugar better. And when you eat those processed carbohydrates, the insulin is released to bring your blood sugar down, and so that insulin brings the blood sugar down. But also what it does, it puts some of that fuel, or most of it, depending on how much fuel you have in your cells initially. So it puts most of your fuel into your fat. And it's very, very hard to actually lose fat and maintain a healthy body fat when your insulin is always high and you are always eating processed carbohydrates. And so that's how it affects your weight. But what's even more important is that not only the fat that is under your skin is affected. That is not actually that bad, but you actually accumulate a lot of visceral fat or fat around your internal organs, and that is scientifically correlated with the amount of heart disease you get, how healthy are your arteries, and also how long and how healthy you live. Like the more fat you have around your internal organs, the more fat you're going to accumulate around your midsection, and that's going to happen eventually for a lot of people. If she continues on this journey, she's really young, so she might not see a lot of negative changes yet. But if she continues on that journey, then fat is going to accumulate around her internal organs and probably going to be more visible as the time goes by. And it's going to be really hard to lose it unless you change the diet so it's not high in processed carbohydrates. And so the next question, or one of the questions she sent me was, is it healthy to cut out all the added sugars and carbs if you have low blood sugar. So again, is it healthy to cut out all added sugars and carbs if you have low blood sugar? And guys, first and foremost, I want you to understand that added sugars and carbohydrates are two completely different things. Well, they're not completely different because added sugars are carbohydrates too, mostly, but they're not the same. Added sugars are things like, white sugar, brown sugar, even juice, it's all honey, it's all natural. I mean, some of it is natural, some of it is not that natural. It's highly processed like white sugar, but those are all added sugars. Carbohydrates, on the other hand, those are also your fiber. Vegetables are primarily carbohydrates. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds have a lot of carbohydrates. Almost all of the foods besides animal products, even some animal products, like for example, liver has some carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, they are a part of a healthy diet, unless you go carnivore and zero carbs, but that not that beneficial either. So should you quit all added sugars? Yes, absolutely. All added sugars, all processed grains, any highly processed carbohydrates in the form of flour, of pastries, of pasta, quit all of that. I would definitely do that. Carbohydrates, no, I would not quit carbohydrates. I would eat my vegetables. I would eat things like tubers, like sweet potatoes or yams. I would eat my carbohydrates from nuts and seeds. So that's the difference you want to understand. Carbohydrates are not bad. What is not good for anyone, I don't care what diet you're on, are processed carbohydrates, added sugars, or just, processed carbohydrates in the form of flour or pastries, even pasta and bread. And all of that is, everyone will benefit when they don't have those carbohydrates in your diet. But things again like vegetables, like fiber, like tubers, people live, centenarians who live the longest, they eat those healthy carbohydrates and they have no problems with their blood sugar. So should you quit all added sugars? Absolutely. Should you quit carbs? No. And one of the questions was also about intermittent fasting, like is it healthy to do intermittent fasting if you have low blood sugar? And what are the ways you can avoid weight gain if you have low blood sugar? And also, I guess the main question here is how to maintain a healthy blood sugar right now when you already have a problem, even though she's not on medications. How to maintain that healthy blood sugar and also start feeling better and getting more energy and invest into your long-term health. And so I have a solution, guys, and it's pretty simple. The first thing is if you have problems, if you have serious problems with your blood sugar and you know it, even though you might not be on medications yet, get a blood glucose monitor. They have the ones that monitor your blood glucose constantly. If you can get one of those, that's like perfect, because as Peter Drucker, one of the best business minds out there, said, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So you won't really know how your blood sugar levels are improving unless you measure it. I mean, of course, you can feel different, and if you don't faint and don't feel weak anymore, it means that your blood sugar control is probably improving. But I also would invest in blood sugar monitor. If you can get a constant one, get at least the one that you can prick your finger and you can check it from time to time. A lot of those on the market pretty convenient. And again, if you're having problems with your blood sugar, I would first try to find a way to actually measure it so you have the improvements. And another experiment, if you have that kind of blood sugar monitor that you have to prick your finger to measure it, it's not continuous blood sugar monitor. So whenever I have a meal, I would measure my blood sugar right after meal. 30 minutes after meal, 1 hour after meal, and 90 minutes after meal to see how your blood sugar fluctuates. So do that experiment whenever you can, maybe on the weekends or something. And then how would I change my diet to start moving into the right direction of improving your blood sugar? That, as we know, by the way, guys, your blood sugar also affects the quality of your sleep. That, as we know, poor quality sleep and not enough sleep affects your weight and your inflammation levels and your brain health. It also, again, affects inflammation levels, if you artery health. So it can actually damage your arteries when your blood sugar spikes all the time. So the diet. How would I eat to start moving into the right direction? The best solution that I found working with a lot of people who have the same issue, a lot of people are having the same issue these days, is to be on a balanced diet. What do I mean by balanced diet? Let's take 2,000 calories diet, 3 meals a day, right? Something that the amount of food that a lot of people eat naturally when they quit processed foods. I would eat somewhere around 80 grams of carbohydrates, 80 grams of protein, 80 grams of fats. And obviously 80 grams of fat will give you more calories than 80 grams of carbohydrates or protein. And when I say 80 grams of carbohydrates, I mean carbohydrates like tubers, like sweet potatoes or yams. I mean well-prepared beans, your vegetables, your nuts and seeds, maybe a little bit of fruit. Even though if you already have quite serious blood sugar problems, I would not go for fruit necessarily, because that is still a sugar that is considered to be a really questionable mark when it comes to controlling your blood sugar and your insulin levels and your health overall. So for the period of recovery, I would quit fruit sugars, and that of course includes juices and all of that, any byproduct of fruit. So I would go on a balanced macronutrient diet. And when I say again carbohydrates, 80 grams including fiber. So you can use apps like MyFitnessPal, for example, or Chronometer, and that will measure your macronutrients for you. You just put your food into the app and it will tell you how many grams of carbohydrates, of proteins, of fats, even though not precisely like 100%, but it's still pretty good measure. And it will also tell you how many calories. So 80 grams of fats, of carbohydrates, of proteins from whole foods. I would do that 3 times a day without snacking. And when it comes to intermittent fasting, I would start slowly, 12 hours, and then I would probably go in a couple of weeks to 13 and then to 14. It depends how well your body will adjust, but because she's young, your body will probably recover sooner. So balanced diet, 3 meals a day, 12-hour fasting, and I would monitor blood sugar. Again, I would get that blood glucose monitor where you prick your finger, and I would measure my blood glucose maybe on the weekends, do that experiment right after meal, 30 minutes after meal, 60 minutes after meal, 90 minutes after meal. Do that 3 times after each meal on the weekend, doing this balanced meal formula, and see how you do. Actually, it should from scratch, from the very first meal, help your body to balance your blood sugar much better. Why is that? Because that meal gonna have fiber, that's gonna have protein, that meal gonna have fat. All of that will actually slow down your digestion and absorption of nutrients, and that will ensure that you get blood glucose and other nutrients released into your bloodstream much slower over a period of time. And that will prevent your blood sugar and your insulin from spiking. And that should really improve your blood sugar control and your energy levels and you feeling weak and about to faint. So I would do that right from the beginning and see how you do. So that's my solution. And because she's not on the medications, on any medications, I don't necessarily think that you need to go to a doctor. But if you would like to, consult your doctor and maybe get continuous blood glucose monitor, that's going to be even better, of course, and you're going to get some benefits from that. But that meal formula, yeah, I would definitely go for it, especially now when you're at that borderline. You do not require medications right now, you do not have diabetes, but you do seem to have problems with your blood sugar. So balanced meal, 12-hour fasting window, 3 meals a day, and monitoring your blood sugar. That's my solution that worked for a lot of people, and that's probably going to work in your situation that seems to be serious but still not that serious that you should be doing something else, something more serious. That's it, guys. So that's my solution. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have further question about similar issue. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and also feel free to send your questions, your cases, your problems, and I will help you to find the best solution from my practice. I've been practicing for more than a decade now, and I've been studying for like 2 decades now. I have just this huge experience and a huge database of solutions that I can give to you that you can try and see how it works for you. So reach out, guys. Don't, use Google for information, because Google does not know you. It's not going to ask you questions about, how you feel and are you on any medications or any of these specifics that will help me personally to give you a better solution. So reach out, ask your question, and start working on your health, improving it. Because, guys, if you don't improve it right now and you already have a problem, it's not going to improve by itself if you do the same exact thing. So you actually need to do things differently in order for it to improve. And in order for you to do things differently and prevent as many problems as possible or failed attempts, you actually gotta do a better way to do things so you get positive results as soon as possible. And that I can help you do. So reach out. And thank you for listening. Until next time, eat better daily.